From SF Land, this is Dorking Out, a podcast for people who love to dork out about movies, TV, and everything pop culture.
Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and I sit on a throne of lies. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend.
We are getting in the holiday spirit here, and we are dorking out about 2003's Elf. I'm really excited to talk about Elf.
Me too. It's such a good movie.
It's so good. It stars Will Ferrell, James Caan, Zooey Deschanel, Mary Steenburgen, Daniel Tay, Bob Newhart, National Treasure Bob Newhart, and also National Treasure Ed Asner. And it's directed by Jon Favreau, who, of course, is behind the Mandalorian right now. Or Mandalorian. And who knew that the dude from Swingers was going to go on to make such awesome things? Not me.
He was so money.
He was so money that he went on to direct Elf and Iron Man and The Mandalorian. He's awesome. Who knew?
He is awesome. Yeah.
I had no idea that he would be my favorite of the Swingers because I really thought it was going to be Vince Vaughn, but it's not. It's Jon Favreau.
Well, did Vince Vaughn create a Baby Yoda? I don't think so.
I know. Fuck Vince Vaughn for not creating a Baby Yoda. What an asshole. Where's your Baby Yoda, Vince Vaughn? Actually, I used to have a crush on Vince Vaughn because he's very handsome.
Everybody did.
I know. Did you? But we're talking about Elf. Did you see this movie in the theater?
I don't think I did. I have no memory of it. And I don't know why. Because I like Will Ferrell and I like Christmas movies. So you think it would go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
But I don't have any memory of seeing this in the movie theater. I only remember seeing it when it was out on rental.
Okay. I definitely saw it in the theater and I remember really liking it. But I have to say, like, it went out of my mind pretty quick. And then it's one of those movies that you watch again on like ABC Family when that was still a thing. And it just grows on you. And every time I watch it, I love it more. And I watch it every holiday season now. It's like a regular thing. And every time I'm like, I love it more and more and more. And that's very rare. I feel like that's super rare when you find a movie like that.
Especially with the topic. Because
Yeah.
Christmas movies can get kind of tiresome.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it helps that just the week before I was in New York. So on
That
this
got you in the
rewatch-
mood.
Yeah, I think this week or this rewatch was like, I know that place and that place and that place. I was there. I went there. But I just super love it. I love that it's not mean.
No, it's very charming. It's very charming and people are very good natured. And even the bad people are not that bad.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of hope for mankind.
Yes. So let's go through it. Will Ferrell plays Buddy the elf. He climbs into Santa's bag when Santa was at an orphanage, and Buddy climbs into Santa's bag and gets all the way to the North Pole and is adopted by Bob Newhart. And he's a grown man living with elves who hasn't seemed to notice that he's not an elf. He's like amazingly tall. And this is another one of the things I love about the movie. They do a lot of forced perspective to make Will Ferrell look, well, I mean, he's really tall. He's a tall dude, but to make everyone else look smaller, they use this forced perspective. It's not like a special effects thing. It's camera trickery to make him look bigger, which I think is really cool. I actually like that the special effects are visual effects. Not special effects, visual effects. It's pretty minimal actually in this movie until maybe the end, but I love the stuff with the elves, and I love that the elves aren't mean either. They're all very sweet.
Well, they love being elves. I mean, being an elf is a very revered thing. Like they get to make the toys for all the kids all year round. And they like living up at the North Pole, and it's very joyful. And they like Buddy. They know he's not like them, and he's a little slow making the etch-a-sketches. but they still love him because he loves being an elf. He's so enthusiastic. He's so sweet and loving. But he realizes that at one point he's told that he needs to go back to New York to meet his father. And he doesn't want to go at first, but then they kind of convince him that he needs to do this. And I wanted to ask you because they gave him a little snow globe and it has the Empire State Building in it. And you just were in the Empire State Building last week.
It was.
So what did you think?
I loved it. I loved being in the Empire State Building, by the way. It's amazing. The views from up there are amazing. And it kind of blows my mind that people work in the Empire State Building. Like, you forget. It's not just it's not the Eiffel Tower where you just go and like go to the top and there's a view. There's actual offices in the building. So yeah, Buddy's dad works in the Empire State Building in like publishing and children's publishing. And of course they show that he's on the naughty list.
Right.
And Buddy's devastated. No, and they show him being like the biggest prick, right? He's like denying an orphanage books or something like that. Like it's like the meanest thing in the movie, or like the second meanest thing in the movie is him denying an orphanage books. It's pretty messed up. I love that he basically walks to New York from the North Pole. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And there's a good mix of that like stop motion animation, kind of like Rudolph, the Rankin Bass holiday movies where he comes across like woodland creatures and things like that. But as he gets closer to New York, he comes across that raccoon that attacks him.
Which cracks me up every time. Raccoons scare the shit out of me. My favorite is the gum that they have at the subway stop. It's so disgusting, but it cracks me up.
It makes me want to puke. Santa tells him before he leaves for New York, when you see gum on the sidewalk, don't chew it. Like, don't pick it up. It's not for you. It's, and then when he gets to New York, he goes to the subway and he starts picking gum like off the railing and chewing it. It's so gross. So gross. It makes me want to puke. God, I love it. So he immediately goes to the Empire State Building to see his dad, and his dad is like, "You're crazy. Get the fuck out of here." Basically, he has him thrown out like immediately, and so he ends up at Gimbel's, which is also known as Macy's. They changed the names, and he ends up in the Christmas area, like the toy area, like where Santa's coming, and this is where who's playing the store manager? It's like Faison.
Oh, Faison, Donald Faison, is that his name?
Yeah, Faison Love or something like that.
Or Faison Love.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes.
He plays the very grouchy like manager of the toy department at Gimbel's, and he just thinks that Buddy is one of the employees because he's dressed like an elf. He's walking around in his goofy outfit, and he drags him in there and asks them why he's smiling all the time. And he says one of my favorite lines: "I like to smile. Smiling's my favorite." And then he meets Zooey Deschanel. She's playing someone named Jovi, and she's everybody drink adorable.
She's so pretty. And she's so cute. I just love her.
So cute. And she's blonde. She's blonde in this. And they give her like a nice little scene where she gets to sing. And she's just really good. I think she's really good in this movie.
I think part of the reason why the movie works is because of her.
I think so too.
And the chemistry that she has with Will Ferrell. But she's a great singer. And, she's a little bit of a skeptic, but she's not an asshole about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, she gives him a chance.
Yeah, and once again, it goes back to the idea that this movie's very nice. Like,
yes,
there could have been scene after scene where people are just really rotten to him, and instead they're pretty sweet to him. They're like, he's super into Christmas. What are you gonna do?
Thankfully, he lands there at Christmas. I mean,
I know. Phew. What if he had
time of year? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What if he landed on 4th of July? That would suck. Oh my God, he'd be so hot in that outfit.
Oh, he'd be roasting.
He would hate it. He's not going to stay in New York. It's too hot. Maybe he goes to the North Pole for the summer. So there's a really sweet scene where she's taking a shower at work, which, sure, people take showers at work. Why not? And she's singing Baby It's Cold Outside, and he's drawn to her singing voice and sings along with her. People have mixed reactions to this song. What is your stance on Baby It's Cold Outside?
My stance is it's almost 100 years old.
Yeah.
The song, I mean, it's been around forever, and it's just a playful story about someone wanting someone to stay a little bit longer. I mean, is he being a little rapey? I don't know. It's just he's a product of the time.
Yeah.
And good girls didn't stay out that late. And maybe there was a lot of chemistry between them. And he was just like, just hang out a little longer.
Yeah.
And she just needed some talking. It's a different time.
Yeah.
And I just think I've always thought it was really fun.
Actually, I am pro Baby It's Cold Outside. I think the song is exactly what you said. It's playful. And I think she's saying all these excuses. And I was like, she's not really trying to leave. I think she's reciting the excuses that she could make to stay. Like that kind of thing. I think people purposely like misunderstand this song or something. I don't think it's rapey, but
no, I mean, I think it's, let me take that back. It's not. And I think it's just, they're having a great time. They're on a date. They're having a really good time. She wants to stay longer, but the mores of the time probably dictated that women really had to play hard to get.
Yes.
Like that was also like a very tiresome thing, but like women were supposed to always play hard to get. And so I think that's just all it is.
Yeah. I think this is up for interpretation. Like you could do a version that's super rapey. Definitely.
Yes.
You could do one where she's like, I really got to be going. And he's like, just stay a little longer. Like you could do it. But I have not heard that version yet. If you guys know about a version like that, please send it my way. I'll totally listen to it. Maybe I'll change my mind. But I happen to like that song. And I think it's actually really a cute scene where she's singing in the shower and he joins in. I think it's, and she, like I said, she has a lovely singing voice.
She really does.
And she has, she's in a duo with She and Him. And they have a Christmas album. And I've played it before and it's very good. And I think she's lovely.
I like her too, and I like that she's dating one of the Property brothers. I just think they make a cute couple. I think.
Aww.
Yeah, I like her. I like her a lot.
Yeah, me too. She's very fun. I was thinking about this movie. They could make a thriller about this movie, and it would be like from James Caan's point of view. And it would be like he's like in his office like doing his work and some dude comes in dressed as an elf and like mentions like a dead ex-girlfriend of his.
So were they in college is when this happened? When they were together and had Buddy, or high school? Like what are we supposed to believe?
I don't know. They make it sound like they were maybe like college sweethearts.
That's what I'm thinking. And that, at the time people, because I think Will Ferrell was born in 67 or 68. So around that time, a lot of people gave up their kids for adoption. It's not
weird. I just kept thinking about like what a weird movie this could have been.
Well, yeah, and it's also like he's not focused on the mother at all. Like she's just, it's just about dad.
Yeah, so the idea of like a man dressed as an elf showing up to say he's your son mentions like a dead ex-girlfriend and then later sends him like a gift and it's a card that's like, I love you, and like a picture of the old girlfriend and a sexy nightgown. It looks creepy. This could be like a Hand That Rocks the Cradle situation.
It totally could be, but then you find out that he's married to Mary Steenburgen, and we all like her.
Yeah, she's the nicest wife ever.
In
this movie.
She's so understanding.
And then,
so understanding.
Yeah, and they have a young son who's maybe 12 or 13, Michael, and I don't know. I do think James Caan might be a little too old to have a son that young, but that's okay. Whatever, it's fine, because dudes can have kids forever.
Yeah.
And Michael's skeptical of Buddy, of course, but they bond over a snowball fight, a really fun snowball fight.
I love that snowball fight scene.
I also love the scene where Buddy joins them for dinner and he's putting maple syrup on everything. It's so gross. And then the next day he makes them breakfast and it's like spaghetti, but he puts maple syrup all over it. And then what is he puts like Pop-Tarts on it, and it's some nasty shit.
Supposedly, Will Ferrell said he got sick quite a bit because he normally doesn't eat a lot of sugary things.
Yeah.
And he had to eat like bowls of like sugary cereal and Pop-Tarts and stuff like that. And he said he got sick several times because he just couldn't take it.
Oh my God. It looks really fucking gross. And this is
Yeah.
coming from, I'm one of those weirdos that like, I love to like dump a bunch of shit in a bowl and stir it up and eat it. I do it all the time. I'm gross. You know, like some people like military trays. They don't want their food to touch. And I'm the opposite. I like mix everything together.
I love bowl food.
Yeah, even I wouldn't eat this shit. It looks fucking
No.
gross.
Because maple syrup I find is really gross. Unless it's on pancakes or waffles. No, thank you.
So nasty.
It's too sweet.
Yeah. It's not my jam. So Walter, that's James Caan's character, brings Buddy to work with him. And then we get the great scene with him like trying to answer the phone. He's like, "Buddy the elf, what's your favorite color?"
Amy Sedaris is in the office, by the way.
Oh my God, she's so funny.
So cute. She's so great.
I love Amy Sedaris so much, and I'm really into BoJack Horseman right now. Like my husband and I have been binging it and watching episode after episode. So she is one of the voices on that show. I don't know. Do you watch BoJack?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, she's Princess Carolyn, the cat. And so every time she talks now, I'm like, there's Princess Carolyn. There she is. Because Princess Carolyn's one of my favorite characters on that show. I love Amy Sedaris.
She's great. She's also on Mandalorian. She's on the latest episode.
I haven't watched the latest one yet, but I've seen some of the pictures going around, and I can't wait. And I was like, did they make a show just for me? Because I'm starting to think they did.
I'm starting to think Jon Favreau knows how to make things just to entertain me.
Yeah. Thank you, Jon Favreau.
Yes.
Thank you for being so cool. So he goes to work with his dad, and then Walter quickly wants to ditch him and puts him in the mailroom. And that scene is also really funny.
Very sucky. Very sucky.
It's so sucky. And he meets another coworker who's like pouring whiskey, I think, into his coffee. And Buddy's like, "Why didn't I think about putting syrup in my coffee?" And he dumps like this whole bottle of whiskey in his coffee and gets drunk, and they start dancing, and it looks like really fun. I would like to work in that mailroom when Buddy's there.
Totally.
And after that, Buddy and Jovi go on a date, and it's
Would you like to go get some food?
It's a really great way to ask someone out. Do you like to eat? Let's go out. And they have a really sweet date. I think it's really cute.
Yeah, very cute.
And very representative, I think, of like that magical time during the holidays where you kind of just walk around and you explore, and they go ice skating, and he's showing her like all kinds of Christmas trees, and then she takes him to Rockefeller Center and shows him the giant tree, and he's like, "That's a big one," you know. He loves trees.
He takes her to the world's best coffee. The world's best coffee, by the way, that scene.
Oh my!
Congratulations!
I can't believe I forgot to bring that scene up because I just mentioned that scene again last night to someone because it makes me laugh so hard. Where he's like, "Congratulations, you did it!"
And they're just staring at him like, and it's very representative of New York. Like you have people of all different nationalities everywhere doing everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they all claim to have the world's best coffee, and they all claim to have the world's best pizza.
Yep.
And so I love that. So he takes her to the world's best coffee, and she's like, "It's a crappy cup of coffee." And he's like, "It's the world's best cup of coffee." And I think their date is really sweet. And I love when they ice skate together, and like he gives her a kiss on the cheek, and you can see like I mean, we don't get like any kind of backstory for her, but you could see like she is like kind of a guarded person, and he is so friendly and just so joyful that she kind of melts.
You feel safe around him.
Yeah, I think
because
that's
he's a big guy.
Yeah.
So, and also, but he's just so nice and kind, and he just has so much, joy in his heart. And he's a pleasure to be around. And it's nice that they make her that she appreciates him. She realizes that and she appreciates him. It's just she doesn't put him down for it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's what I really like. I love
Yeah.
their relationship.
I think they have a really sweet chemistry, and I do wonder, I'm like, I don't know, like, if romantically I would want to go out with Buddy. Like, I don't know if I would be like, yay, now I'm going to put on a sexy Santa nightie and we're going to get down to business. Like, he doesn't provoke that kind of feeling
No,
in me.
not erotic. I mean, I'm not erotically charged, but I'm charged in a way like when I was in middle school and I was around a boy that I liked and he was nice to me. Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not saying that their relationship should be that way. This movie is PG. It's
yes.
It's
solidly PG.
It is solidly PG. I love that. It's a very safe relationship for your kids, everybody. It's not dirty. So what happens after that? There's like a whole subplot about Walter's company is tanking and they need to release a new holiday book or they need to release a new book in Q1. I love businesses love to talk about Q1, Q2, Q3, the bottom line, but one of those things.
Okay, but by the way, Q1 is January to March.
Yes.
They're in December.
Yeah.
That book should have been ready months and months ago. Just knowing what I know about publishing.
Yeah, you worked in publishing. That shit's not realistic.
Yeah.
Look, I'm willing to accept that Santa's sleigh runs on Christmas cheer. I'm just not willing to accept that they would be working on a book in December for January. So they decide to bring in like a ringer, like a really popular children's book author, and it is Peter Dinklage.
Who's great.
As Miles Finch, and he is funny as fuck in this movie. I love Peter Dinklage.
He never disappoints.
Never.
He always delivers. He's always funny. He's exactly what you want. One of my biggest thrills in Brooklyn is I got to see him once walking down the street, walking his dog, and all the people that recognize him because he stands out.
Yeah.
But he's so friendly and nice.
That's
it's
awesome.
He's really great. And his dog's named Kevin. How great is that?
I love it when people name their pets like human names. Like, this is my dog, Steve.
Yeah.
Here's my parakeet, Rick. Things like that. I love that stuff. What kind of dog was it?
Oh, it was like a brown lab. It was a rescue.
Oh, of course it was a rescue.
And he was psyched because I said, "Is that Kevin?" He goes, "Yes, it is." He was like, because I'm more into people's dogs than them.
I don't give a shit about you. I'm just here to see Kevin.
Get out of the way, Peter. Anyway, because I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but I like him in everything else that he's done.
Yeah.
And I like him as a person. I like what he stands for.
Yes.
He loves animals, and he's just cool. And in this story, when Buddy comes in and thinks he's an elf,
oh my god,
you're just cringing.
It's so cringe-inducing, but Peter Dinklage really plays that part. Like, it's so funny because like, you can tell like this is a character who's heard this shit his whole life, and that Peter Dinklage has probably heard this shit his whole life. The idea of like, are you one of Santa's elves? But Buddy's coming from like a really in a good way, not in a mean way. But
no, it's coming from a good place.
Yeah, but Miles Finch doesn't know that, and he does the whole like, call me an elf one more time, and he's like, you're an elf? He just runs across the table and jumps on him. I love that scene. He just beats the shit out of him. Oh my god, it's so funny. But then this leads to like one of the really sad parts of the movie, because then Buddy's like Walter throws Buddy out of the office, and like that scene is really sad. It's like, it's like, get out of here, like, I don't want you in my life. And Buddy is such a sweet character. You really don't want bad things to happen to him. So that scene's a big bummer, but you need it. You need that scene in the movie.
No, you need the emotional payoff, like when he comes around, because he would be draining for people who aren't used to that. He would be the house guest that after a while, like, okay, stop being so happy. Enough with the maple syrup. Stop it. But it doesn't last long. I mean, he's kind of, but I love it that he's in Central Park to try to find Santa, and he looks like a Bigfoot, like in the footage
I know.
that they show in New York 1. Oh my God. So great.
Let's talk about James Caan for a second. Like, I think this is like really interesting casting because I wouldn't say James Caan is known for his comedy. He's made comedies. He's done like Honeymoon in Vegas and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say he's known for that. He's really known for like The Godfather and probably playing characters who are more heavy
and tough.
And so this is like kind of an interesting casting because we have to watch him kind of soften throughout the movie as Buddy kind of wears him down. So I actually really like the casting of James Caan.
No, it makes sense, because you want him to be tough, but you don't want him to be cruel.
Yes.
And so you kind of want to see that. And I think James Caan does a great job with it. And I love the relationship between him and Mary Steenburgen and their son. I think all that's really great. I love their apartment.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice apartment. I think that whole thing is great. And I like how he comes around on Buddy.
Yes.
And realizes like how important, Buddy is not just to the family, but just to the world.
Yes.
And he starts to believe in Santa.
Yes.
And I love all the stuff about Ed Asner as Santa is so great.
Oh my God. Has he played Santa before? I feel like
he has.
He could play Santa in everything.
And I think this maybe Jon Favreau too, being like, I want to work with Bob Newhart, Ed Asner, James Caan. Like, who are the people I want to work with? Mary Steenburgen. Like, if I can create a movie and hire these people, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
I love the scene. Well, I love all the scenes, but I also love. There's a part where James Caan's character's like, "We can't leave Buddy here alone. You need to take the day off from work to be here with Buddy, and I have to go into the office." And she's like, basically, LOL, no. Like, you need to take Buddy to work with you. She's like, I have my shit to do. This is your fucking problem. But she doesn't say it like that because she's Mary Steenburgen and she's super nice.
Right.
And I like stuff like that where, like, she's very sweet, but she doesn't put up with bullshit either.
She's not a pushover.
No, and she calls him on his shit. Like, what you did wasn't nice. That's not nice what you've done. No, you need to deal with this, not me. And I really, really like her in this movie.
She's her own person.
Yes. More of that, please, in these kinds of
movies. More
movies.
of that, please. Yes.
Yes, please. So Santa shows up, and his sleigh is having all kinds of problems, as it is wont to do in these movies, and he crash lands in Central Park, and that's when we get the scene of Buddy traipsing through Central Park looking like Bigfoot. And there's also like a woman, a news reporter. What station is it? It's like New York.
That's New York 1.
Okay, so New York 1. There's a reporter on her first big news story, Charlotte. And this is also one of the things I love about the movie. It's a very small thing. It's the idea that it's Charlotte's first big story, and the anchor is such a snide dick, right? He's like, oh, really big news, Charlotte. Good job, on your first big news story. And then as she's talking to people about like what's going on in Central Park, there's some of the people are like, I think you're doing a really great job, Charlotte. Just stuff like that. Like just these little things that like people are like, I think Charlotte, you're doing a really good job on this story. You have a face I could trust, or, like that stuff. I just think it's like a nice little touch that shows that there's like a world outside of what's going on in elf plot, I guess. I don't know. I just really, it makes me laugh really every time.
So I like the scene where the New York cops that are on horses, they're sort of the enemy of the reindeer.
Oh, no.
And so they're gearing up. And that's when Zooey Deschanel, she finds out that Buddy loves singing like more than anything. And singing brings Christmas cheer.
Yes.
And so she just and James Caan shows up and he's gonna wear a Santa outfit.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna it's so great. Like
he's
they all
trying to
come
distract
together.
the Central Park Rangers, which
Yes,
I don't know if
Central
that's a thing. Is that a real thing?
Oh yeah.
They make them look like the 4 like horsemen of the apocalypse, basically.
Which is funny because everyone loves those horses. They're very sweet. Yeah, but they do keep the order.
Yeah. So it's they're trying to catch Santa, and James Caan puts on the Santa suit to distract them. And Buddy, of course, is working on the sleigh. And then Zooey Deschanel realizes, like, if she can get everyone to believe, Oh, well, actually, Ann Michael steals Santa's book.
Oh, that's right. And Michael's reading from it.
Yeah,
and all the stuff people want for Christmas, he's reading it out loud. And Charlotte wants her boyfriend to get her a Tiffany ring and get off his ass and,
to stop dragging his feet already.
Dragging his feet already. Which I bet you she gets that ring after that.
I also love, there's a cute scene where at one point Buddy like goes to the doctor, and the doctor's played by Jon Favreau.
Yes.
And he's in the waiting room, and he's sitting next to a little girl, and he starts talking to her, and he's like, what do you want for Christmas? And she wants like a Chatty Cathy doll or whatever. And as Michael's reading from the book, he says, and Elise wants, a Chatty Cathy doll. And then they show her in the bed, and she goes, thanks, Buddy. And I'm like, she's so cute.
She's so cute. The little kids are so cute. And the one guy, what is he getting a trip to? Oh, the one guy in the biker bar.
Yeah, what does he want? He wants
he want?
Something really ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he's like, it must be someone else. It's not.
It's those little touches, though, that are just really fun.
There's just so many little, I mean, this whole podcast now is just like the little moments of Elf that we love so much. There's so many of those in these movies, and this movie, that makes it so fun to rewatch.
I love it. We have to go back. I'm sorry.
Yes.
With Artie Lang as the first Santa Claus. And I love it. Buddy overnight made that place magical.
Yes.
But he's like, you're not Santa, you're a fraud. And chasing him around, like, oh my God, that cracks me up every single time.
Yes. What'd you say? You smell like beer and cheese or something. And that's what he says. You sit on a throne of lies.
So good.
I love it. And I love how excited he gets when he thinks the real Santa's coming. He's like, I know him. I know him. Oh my God, it's Santa. So back to Central Park.
Right. So Zooey Deschanel is singing. Santa Claus is coming to town, and everybody starts singing with her, and that's like starts the Christmas spirit, helps the sleigh fix itself basically, and so they're able to have the gifts go around the world. And what happens after that? So then Buddy and his girlfriend,
Jovi, end up they're together. And well, first let me say, when she starts singing, nobody joins in, and then Mary Steenburgen joins in first. And I love it because Mary Steenburgen isn't a singer. Mm-hmm. Or maybe she is and she's playing someone who isn't, but I love that like the singing is a little strained, I guess, but she joins in because she knows, like, you're not alone up there. I'm going to join in. And she starts singing, and then everyone starts singing. And it's just this really, again, like a really sweet scene.
And James Caan is not singing. He's just moving his lips. So gets called out for that.
Yeah, his kid's like, come on, Dad. I am singing. I am. But he isn't. Yeah, so Buddy writes his own children's book about his adventures in New York. And him and Jovi end up together. And they go to the North Pole, and they've got their baby,
which is so cute.
And her outfit as an elf is so cute.
It's adorable. Everybody drank. Yeah.
I told my husband, I'm like, we should be that for Halloween next year. We should be Buddy the elf and Jovi.
Oh, you totally should be.
I'm like, she looks so cute, and it's like a little pink elf. It's adorable. And I love how accepting she is. She's like, yeah, I go to the North Pole and I wear this outfit.
And I hang out with the elves. What do you want?
It's such a good movie. It's such a good movie. I read I read a couple different stories about it, and I read that originally they wanted Jim Carrey to star in this. Did you read that?
No, but it doesn't surprise me because they always want Jim Carrey first for everything at that time.
Yes.
To do, because then he did the Scrooge thing. He did, Scrooge thing. Sorry. He did Scrooge, actually.
Yeah,
but he also did. I'm thinking of the Grinch.
Yeah.
That's the thing that he did. Yeah.
What do you think about the Grinch movie? Do you
I hate it.
Yeah,
no.
I hate it too.
I fucking hate it. I think it's so ugly just to look at. I mean, we did a book versus movie about it, and it's really just an ugly little film on so many levels, and that's why it's not a classic.
So people who are younger than us, I think, have grown up watching that one.
Oh
So
yeah, they know that way better.
So they have quite the affection for it. And I just remember seeing it and I didn't like it at all. I thought it was ugly and mean and not in the animated short, the one from like, what is it, late 60s, early 70s, is really, really great. And I watch it a million times during the holidays because my kid loves it. And it's really, really great. The movie doesn't have that spirit at all.
No, it's really, yeah. So when they have the big payoff, you don't really buy it. And I think for me, it's a failure. It's not, I was surprised to find out from people when we did our episode, how many people really love that movie. That's the only Grinch they know.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm like, I felt like it suffered by comparison. Cause in the movie, the Who's are greedy and they're obsessed with like presents and trying to outdo each other with the lights, and then the Grinch like steals all their shit and teaches them the true meaning of Christmas. And I was like, well, that's not what the Grinch is. The Grinch is, he learns about the true meaning of Christmas from them.
Right.
This morning, my son was watching the new animated Grinch. I think last year another one came out with like Benedict Cumberbatch or something.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen that one.
So I haven't seen the whole thing. I just watched a little bit with him this morning. And it seems much more in the spirit of the original. I was like, I actually like this way more than that shitty live action one. Like it seems very sweet, and it does give the Grinch like a backstory where it's like he was in an orphanage and they didn't have Christmas, and so he wants to take Christmas from them because he's so hurt inside by Christmas. And I'm like, okay, I can live with that. But then he still learns the true meaning of Christmas from the Who's. And I was like, yes, that's what it should be.
That's the story. Yeah, that's what it should be.
And this has been our episode on the Grinch. No.
Yes.
So I also noted that one of the producers of this movie is Pete Billingsley.
Yes.
Who was Ralphie in A Christmas Story. And if you don't love A Christmas Story, I don't know if we can be friends. Margo, please tell me you love A Christmas Story.
I love A Christmas Story.
Phew.
I know every beat of that movie. It's problematic in certain sections, of course.
Yes.
You know, but it's still a perfect little Christmas movie. It's wonderful. I love that movie.
I love that movie too.
He's good friends. He's become a producer, and he's good friends with Jon Favreau. Yes. And I think him and Vince Vaughn are good friends. I think they're both what's libertarians. I think that's something that they're both into.
That's
which I'm like, yeah. But I like the movies that he produces.
Yeah. So he has a little cameo in this. He's one of the toy making elves, and he's one of the producers. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just I have such warm feelings towards A Christmas Story. It's one of the movies my dad and I watched together. You know, every year growing up, we actually agreed on that one.
They played it all the time.
I mean, they still do. It's like, I think TBS does a 24-hour
but
Christmas Story marathon.
Yeah, but like in the 80s into the 90s, like they would play that movie all the time. Like not even during Christmas, like around the clock, like around the year. Sorry, around the calendar. Yeah. I mean, I would remember coming on TV because it just has this great story arc to it. I remember the first time I watched it, I just loved it. I always just kind of like we're just going to talk about Christmas movies. That's what we're going to do today.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can do that. One of the things that is awesome about A Christmas Story, welcome to our Christmas Story episode, is I used to watch it as a kid and you really relate to Ralphie, and now I'm older and I really love the parents.
I love the mother.
She's my favorite thing in that movie.
She holds
Melinda
that
Dillon.
film together. Melinda Dillon. She holds that film together. Like she is the person that is the rock in that family.
Like
but I like the relationship.
Yeah, Darren McGavin, I think.
Darren McGavin. He died.
He is hilarious in that movie.
Oh yeah.
But I think the reason he's so funny, he needs her.
Right.
Like they're the balance, they're a team. And I just think she's so funny. And I love the whole thing with the lamp, of course. And, you know, and he's like, you're jealous of my lamp. And she's like, that's outrageous. I'm not jealous of a lamp. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh God, I love her so much.
I love it when she breaks up the fight with the boys
Mm-hmm.
and she gets her son home and she's just like, just lay down.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay because he's so hysterical. He thinks he's going to get in trouble. And then he realizes he's not going to get in
Yes.
trouble. Like she's got his back.
That's
And I just like, so sweet.
It's so sweet and super common, by the way. There's a lot of moms out there that shield their kids from like grouchy dads.
Yeah.
My mom was
God
one of
bless
those
them.
Yeah, my mom was one of those moms. Like, don't make the worst thing my mom could say was, I'm going to tell your father. No, please. Whatever you do, I'll be good. Please don't tell Dad. Okay. Now, that's the end of our episode about A Christmas Story. I also read that Will Ferrell turned down $29 million.
I saw that too.
To do Elf 2. And I'm like, I think that's pretty smart.
I could use $29 million for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that would have hurt his reputation. I don't know how it could be as good.
Yeah.
I think what works with the movie is like we're learning about Buddy as we go along.
Yeah.
And I think like if there's something super magical that happened there, I just don't think you can repeat it. Like every time there's very few these Christmas movies that like the second one is really as good as the first one.
Yes.
And then they just keep like, was it the Santa Claus, which we're going to be talking about? Like the second one's just not nearly as good. And there's a bunch of others that just, they keep adding to them. And it's like, no, it's perfect just the way it is. And I actually think that takes a lot of character for him to turn down that much money.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to think it's going to be as good.
Yeah. I don't think like an Elf 2 would take from Elf, like in that I don't think it would like ruin Elf, but I don't think it needs more. I think it's perfect just the way it is. But maybe I would be wrong. Maybe they'd make one and I'd be like, this is great. I'm so glad they made it. But I'm kind of fine with them not making it. And it's funny you mentioned about the holiday movies because I wrote in my notes, like, where did I put it? Like, I can't think of another recent holiday movie that's as well loved as this one. Like, this one is like legit, like a holiday classic now at this point.
Isn't it like USA Network plays it nonstop on Christmas Eve or something like that? Yeah. I think everybody agrees. It's a sweet movie. It's a very enjoyable movie. I think maybe because it's PG.
Yeah.
It's just, it's good for the whole family and it's got a good message. It has really great actors doing their jobs. I mean, that's a big thing for me. So,
yeah, even in small parts.
Yeah.
And I love that. That's one of those things that's just, it's awesome about it. One of the original directors attached to it is Terry Ziegoff.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who directed Bad Santa. And I was like, oh, that doesn't seem like a good fit. I'm like, good choice, Terry. I'm glad you picked the other one because I don't think Terry would have been right for this one. It would have been a much darker movie, I suspect.
Yeah.
Bad Santa was on our list, by the way, you guys, but I just can't bring myself to watch it again.
I can't. I just don't like that movie.
Sorry. Like,
I know.
Okay.
I know. People love it.
When I saw it originally, which it also came out in 2003, I did think it was really funny. And by the way, R.I.P. Bernie Mac. I love Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
I did think it was really funny. I look back on it now and I don't think it's for me anymore. And that's okay. Not every movie has to be for me. And if you guys like Bad Santa, that's great. Enjoy. It's just a little too mean and nasty for me. I don't think it's for me. So I'm going to pass.
I don't need my Christmas movies to be nasty.
Yeah. And I know they made a Bad Santa too. And even Kathy Bates couldn't get me to see it. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm going to pass on that one. Do you have other holiday movies you like to watch?
I love Christmas Story. Actually, yes, we did in our last episode. We did our recommendations, and the other day I watched If You Believe with Ali Walker and Hayden Panettiere. It's the 20th anniversary of that Lifetime movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was 1999. So I watched it. I watch it every year, you guys, for the last 20 years. But I like all of the Christmas carols.
Yes.
That's a big one for me. I love the Hallmark movies. I like the Lifetime movies. I like them all. And Elf is just one of my favorites.
Have you watched that what's the new one that came out on Netflix yesterday? It was like a Christmas no, it's like a Cinderella story, but it's Christmas themed or something.
No, but I will get to it.
Yeah. I just watched for the first time the 12 Dates of Christmas.
Isn't that great? Amy Smart.
Oh, Amy Smart and Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. And it is, everybody drink, adorable. It's really, really cute.
It's super cute. It's so enjoyable. And they have great chemistry.
They do. And it's like a Groundhog's Day-esque holiday movie. It's really, really sweet. I had such a good time watching it. I can see why people love it so much. It's really good.
It's great.
Do you want to hear about some of the other movies of 2003?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I don't think we've done a 2003 movie before. So we get to do the top 10 movies. Number 10 is Bad Boys 2.
Oh, God.
A lot of sequels in here. X-Men 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Matrix Revolutions.
No,
I didn't like that one. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
Nope.
The Last Samurai.
Nope.
I didn't like that movie at all. It was boring as fuck.
Is that the Tom Cruise one?
Yes.
Yeah, it's boring as shit.
Yeah. Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey. I'm like, that's fine.
That's not fine. It's fine.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
Is that the first one?
I think that's the first one, I think.
I like the first one very much.
I like the first one, too. I don't like Johnny Depp anymore, but I did like that movie. Number 3 is The Matrix Reloaded.
Nope.
That's so funny. Both movies came out in the same year, huh? Number 2 is Finding Nemo. I love Finding Nemo.
That's a great one.
I've watched it a gazillion times with my kid. It's legit great. And number 1 is Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, which is really
I like the Lord of the Rings movies.
I love the Lord of the Rings movies. In fact, my husband and I have been talking about rewatching them, but not the Hobbit ones. I can't get into them.
No, The Hobbit's boring.
Yeah, it didn't click for me, and it has really great people in it. I love Martin Freeman. It's just, it didn't do it for me. But I love the Lord of the Rings, and for some reason, they feel like holiday movies to me. They're not holiday movies.
No, they're not at all.
They're not. But I think it's because they came out during the all 3 of them came out during the holidays, so they feel like holiday movies to me. They feel like the kind of movie where you sit on the couch and it's cold outside and you watch them. I don't know why, but anyway, I love them. Do you have songs for me?
Yeah. So do you want to hear about a few of the songs from this year? So 2003. Okay. So we have The Darkness. I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
I don't know that song.
It's so goofy. They were like doing this thing, like they were doing 80s metal, and they'd made cheesy videos, and it was always like a wink and a nod. It was this British band.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. You have to look up the video. I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
Okay.
It's freaking hilarious.
I will look at it.
White Stripes, Seven Nation Army. I just played this yesterday in one of my classes.
That's a really good workout song.
Oh, it's so dope. Kelly Clarkson, Miss Independent. I like that song.
I fucking love that song.
Outcast, Hey Ya. Remember that?
Love that song too.
50 Cent, In the Club. I always feel stupid as a white person saying that.
I love that song. And
it's so great.
My sister and I change the words of that song still all the time to talk about like stupid shit. So I'll be like, you find me in the club looking for the recycling bin, asking to turn on the air conditioning, like stuff like that. We do it all the time. My husband, by the way, doesn't think it's funny. He's like, please stop doing that. And my sister and I do it all the time and fucking giggle our asses off. We do it. I love it. I still love that song. It's great.
And my last one is Beyonce, Crazy in Love. Yeah.
That song is the fucking jam.
It's the tits.
It is.
That song is great. Yeah.
Everyone loves that song. If you don't, I'm sorry that you are.
I'm sorry you have no joy in your life.
You have no joy in your life. It's such a good song. I don't know how you listen to that song and not move. You have to. Even if you're in the car, you have to like open the door and jump out.
You got to shimmy a little bit.
You have to shimmy. That's exactly right. You have to shimmy in your seat. I'm doing it right now. You're going to have to take my word for it. What else are you dorking out about?
Oh my God. So I was saying holiday movies, but we just talked about them. I
Yeah.
guess another thing I always watch. We didn't talk about this last week, but there's a video that I watch every year, and it's from Laverne and Shirley, Lenny and Squiggy. Whenever they had a
Yeah.
talent show, they would do a thing. They would sing,
Yes.
and they would sing these really goofy songs. And they have a song, you can find it on YouTube, and it's called Christmas Time at the Poorhouse.
Oh my
And
gosh. Okay.
it's just, I'm just going to tell you guys that it's on YouTube, Christmas Time at the Poorhouse, Lenny and Squiggy, or you'll find it under Lenny and the Squigtones. It's really funny as shit. And it's from the Laverne and Shirley show. And every year I watch it around this time, and it always cracks me up. And I'm sending that along to you guys. I'm sending that joy off to you.
I am writing it down, and I'm going to watch it right after this. Lenny and Squiggy make me laugh really hard. You can find like super cuts too of people where it's like just them like barging into rooms going, "Hello, girls." "Hello, girls." Like, "Oh, how could the situation get any worse? Hello, girls." Like,
They were so great. And they were friends in real life. I love that. And they're
Yeah.
still friends now. Yeah. They're just wonderful.
Yeah,
They're funny. They're freaking hilarious.
I should go back and watch some Laverne and Shirley. I used to love that show.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
bet it,
Same here.
I wonder if it still does it hold up? Do you think?
I think so. Yeah, they had it on for a while. TV Land had like
Okay.
Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley on a pretty regular loop, and because they had all those great writers like Babalu, Mandel, and
Yeah,
all those people that went on to like write movies later, they started there,
yeah.
and it was and Laverne DeFazio is just one of my favorite characters of all
She's
time.
so funny.
Penny Marshall was funny as shit, you guys.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
Laverne was such a great character, and Laverne and Shirley were great characters. They
Yeah.
were funny and smart and resourceful, and I just love they had this basement apartment in Milwaukee.
right.
They worked at a brewery, and it just was so
Oh my
fun.
God, I totally forgot that they worked for a brewery. Now I'm kind of
Yeah.
jealous of Laverne and Shirley.
I know Shots' brewery. That'd be us.
We
We'd
would
be
be,
working that bottle line. Yeah,
we would
we'd have so
totally
much
be
fun.
Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, we would. We would have so much fun.
We would. We'd get into all kinds of hijinks.
Yep. Hijinks aplenty. Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. I already mentioned 12 Dates of Christmas, which is something I watched and super loved. And I also watched both holiday episodes of the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, me too. You got me
And
hooked on that.
they're so fun. And I love that they bring back so in the second episode, they actually brought back someone who won one of the seasons. And I was like, okay, first of all, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't bring back winners. You should bring back people who were like runners up, people who are eliminated like really early. Those are the people they should be bringing back, not winners. Sorry, winners. You've already won.
Right.
It's only downhill from here. Like you have, because then you don't win the holiday episode. It's like you forfeit your crown or something. Anyway, but they're really fun to watch. They make really cool like holiday, themed dishes and pastries and stuff. And it's just such a joy to watch, and it kind of puts me in the holiday spirit. And I recently bought I bought Kim Joy's cookbook, who I think she was runner up, not this season, the season before that. Raoul beat her, and I still think that's wrong. It's like the only time someone won the show that I was like, that's not the right choice. Fail. I really love Kim Joy's book. It's really sweet, you guys. She was the one who made all of her bakes were really cute and like animals and very decorative and very colorful. And her cookbook is all of those things. And the pictures are adorable. Everybody drink. And it looks delicious. And there's a ton of vegan recipes in there too. So I can actually use the cookbook, which is awesome.
The holiday episodes are a really good gateway into the Great British Bake Off.
Yeah.
If you don't know if you want to, tune into a whole season, you don't know if you can do that, start with the holiday shows first and see how
Yeah.
you feel.
They're one-offs. They're super
Yeah.
easy to watch. It gives you an idea of like how the show is formatted. It's like 3 challenges, and they bring back like people with really great personalities. Like none of them are a dud. They're all fun people to watch. And the stakes aren't as high, so they're all kind of a little bit more relaxed, and They're very fun. They definitely put me in that mood.
Same here.
Same here. So, where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
You can find me on social media at Brooklyn Fitchick, mostly on Twitter and Instagram, and my blog is brooklynfitchick.com.
And you can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram, not so much Facebook. And you can find Dorking Out at dorkingout.com and Dorking Out Show on Twitter and Instagram. And Margo and I also host another podcast called What a Creep. Creep. And the show's doing really great. It's super fun. You should follow us on Twitter at CreepPod. We have a Patreon page for that with special bonus stuff. And the bonus stuff is super, super fun, my friends. You guys should be listening. And this was super fun as always. I'm so glad that we got to talk about Elf.
Yeah. So do we say we're going to talk about next week, or we're going to leave it up to them, or we're going to keep it a surprise?
Let's keep it a surprise.
Okay.
I heard that the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Do you want to sing?
Sure.
No, maybe we shouldn't.